Welcome to the Chain Out Podcast with your hosts, Jeremy and Daryl.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Chain Out Podcast. It is season 2, episode 103. I love the fact that we are in triple digits. I know it's been for a few episodes, but it just feels good.
It does.
Yeah.
103 consistently, 103 episodes, one a week.
Mm-hmm.
And we're still in season 2.
That's right. We
I'm
totally
liking
are. And what do we got going on tonight, Daryl?
Well, we're going to be joined by a top Canadian FPO player sponsored by Innova, one of my favorite brands.
Yes.
Yeah. Alexander Poletto will be joining us a little bit later on, probably in about 15 minutes.
Yeah. Excited to chat with her.
Yeah.
Again. We haven't had her on the podcast.
Yeah.
But
to meet her at the Nationals.
Yeah, we'll get to that for sure.
Yeah.
Do we got anybody in the chat today we want to say hello or shout out to?
Oh, we got all the usual suspects. We've got Sonia. We've got Doc is always in the chat. Sam is always in the chat. I'm sure we've got Dylan in here somewhere as well. We've got a few people in here.
And we've always got the silent chatters.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we'll see there's people watching the show, but they're not putting comments in there. So that's you,
I mean,
you feel like saying hi, go ahead.
Yeah.
We won't call you out more than that, will we?
No, I mean, it depends, right? Some people like to be active and they like to be in the chat and you know, they have their phone or whatever device they're listening to us on.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, I feel like in my imagination, they put us up on a big screen while they're making supper or something like that. So they don't have the ability to chime in, but
that's a good point. Yeah, that they're there and we appreciate them for doing that. You know what else was there this week? One of my favorite days of the month.
Yeah.
It happened on Tuesday. It was the second Tuesday of the month, and we all know what that means. That means it's ratings day.
Yeah, you love a good ratings day.
I do, and this ratings day was no exception. Well, much better than last ratings day. So for me, last ratings day, I did what nobody wants to do. You dropped
points.
I dropped points. Yeah, I was at 866. I dropped down 6 points down to 860. But then this ratings day, I went up.
There you go.
You know where I went up to?
Oh, I don't know. Tell me.
6 points, right back to 866. So I am back at my highest rating ever. Feeling pretty good about that until I went and got a text from a friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you feel like 866? That's like kind of your threshold. Is that like your point where you just need to get over that hump?
Well,
you've hit it twice now.
Yeah, I think my goal this year, my real stretch goal was about 875.
Okay.
I think is what I put on my dream board.
Right.
So actually, I'm going to do that next year. I'm going to make a dream board.
You made a dream board last year, I think, didn't you?
Well, I've got my circle 1, circle 2 bullseye board, and I still have that, but I'm going to turn it into a dream board next year. Maybe that'll help.
Okay.
Be a little bit more, what do you call it? It's not so analytical. It's more of that feeling, like when a dream board is more feeling based as opposed to number based.
Right.
But anyways, this friend of mine who's sitting next to me texted me on ratings day, said, "Did you see your ratings yet? And what happened over there?"
Have you not guessed yet that the only time I text you is when my rating goes up? Yeah, my rating went up because I don't play a lot. Well, I didn't play a lot of tournaments this year. I shouldn't say I don't play a lot of tournaments. This year I volunteered a lot more being on the board. Didn't enter some tournaments that I would normally play at. But I did play the last couple of tournaments that we've been, both Gigagors.
Yeah, get in, get out, get rated.
Yeah. And
thank you to Kristen Swirls for being tournament director for both of those.
Yeah. The first one, as we mentioned a couple of weeks ago, I decided to go into MP40 division to give that a swirl to see what it give it a swirl. Give it a whirl. To see how that fared. But this one, the one that we just recently played, my rating went up.
Wow.
So previously I was at 876.
Yeah, you'd already beat my high.
I was already at my previous high, and now I've gone up again, up another 9 points.
Ooh, so that puts you at 887.
887.
You know, that's, what are you going to say? Because I think I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, it's so close to a goal that I never thought that we would really be. I mean, I don't set goals, but when it's this close, it's like, oh, I'm only 13 points away from 900. That magical 900.
Yes.
Yeah.
And do you think now that you're that close to 900, that is going to be, if you were to set a goal, as we all know he doesn't, but if he was to set a goal, would that be your goal?
if I was to set a goal, that would be the logical, because, it's like if you say to somebody, think of a number between 1 and 100, they'll say
Yes.
20, 30, 60. They won't say 37,
Hmm.
right? So 900 is an even number. It's a nice number to get to.
Yeah.
I don't set goals, but obviously every tournament I play, I'm going to try and play the best I can. Logically, then, if you play the best you can, your rating should go up,
Yeah.
and it would be nice to get over that 900.
Well, congratulations, sir. And
Thank you.
I'm not going to listen to Doc Zen anymore. We are co-hosts, no matter what your rating is. I am putting down my beer and saying so.
There you
Bam.
go. We are joint co-hosts.
Well, also with ratings days, if you think about it in Canada, for the most part, if you're on the MPO side, one of the goals, we saw this with Noah Higgins this year, was getting to 1,000 or getting to that big 4-digit number,
Right.
MPO side.
Yeah.
And I think on the FPO side, a lot of FPO players, they're targeting 900 as well.
Yeah.
So I kind of went through ratings day and looked at the MPOs and FPOs to see where they were. I didn't really see any new FPOs that hit the 900 mark.
Right.
But I saw a couple names that are new to the 1,000 rated mark on the MPO side for Canadians. And the first name was Daniel Sisson. Now, have you ever heard of him?
I have not. That's a new name for us.
Yeah.
Or for me.
Well, he's out of Vancouver, BC, and he's now 1,001 rated.
Nice.
And he did that, Daryl, by going up 16 points.
Wow. That's a big jump.
Yeah.
I think I've mentioned to you before that, when you first start and you get your first 700 rated, then you jump up from 700 to 730. Like, you'll jump up 30 points. You'll get those 10, 15, 20, 30 point jumps. But obviously towards the top end of the scale, you only kind of see 1 or 2 3-point jumps sort of thing. So to jump 16 points and to jump 16 over the 1,000, that's crazy.
It's impressive. So I think what we're going to have to do is I'm going to have to do some more digging. I didn't do a lot of research, but we'll find out who Daniel is and get some intel on and welcome him to the 1,000 rated club. I don't know why we're the welcoming committee, because we're not there.
Exactly. We just hold the door open as other people walk through.
That's it. Exactly. And then another player who hit 1,000 rated and is now 1,003 rated.
Yeah.
Because they went up 11 points.
Wow. Another big jump.
Is a more familiar name for us. Connell McLeod.
Oh yeah, we know Connell.
Yeah. So Connell, I believe, was out of Calgary because we saw him down in Lethbridge. And when we chatted with his mom and dad, because they were there caddying and cheering him on and such,
yeah,
I believe he was heading out to Ontario and going to the University of Western Ontario.
Okay.
Yeah. So he playing a bunch of tournaments out that way and picked up his 11 points, 1,003 rated. Maybe that's what it is. We got to move to Ontario.
Yeah.
And that'll get us our points up. It did work for you at Nationals.
There's a lot. There you go. There's a lot of 1,000 rated people out there.
Mm-hmm. So for
sure. I don't know about that, Doc. Doc in the chat says if Daryl hits 900, he should shave the beard.
Well, maybe. No, I don't think you'd do that.
Let's move on.
All right. So it's good.
We touched on it there about the reason why my rating kind of went up 9 points is because we did those get in, get out, get rated events, purely designed just to do an event, low cost entry, but it's still a sanctioned round. You still get a rating. And we mentioned that we both did one earlier.
In October.
Birdie Feast. That's what it was
that's
called.
The one, yeah.
We had one this past weekend, and it was called Festivus for the Rest of Us. Again, put on by Kristen Swirls. That one took place down in, of course, just south of Edmonton, south of Beaumont, a place called Wetaskiwin.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Peace Hills Park course down there. And that was designed, Jeremy, by a guy called Craig Burrows Johnson.
Yes.
Yeah, he was out there as well. He played the event. Now, if you've ever played Wetaskiwin, it's known for some interesting baskets,
to say the least.
Yeah, and that design of a basket is actually called the Trap Shot basket.
Okay.
If you go to the PDGA webpage and look up the baskets, you can actually see that he designed that basket.
CBJ,
as
he they call him locally.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, that's cool. Well, and the one thing too about the Festivus for the Rest of Us is it played to my heart. I had to play it, Daryl, because it's, of course, a take on a Seinfeld episode.
Yeah.
And so much so that even with that, the code to log in for our scorecards was Frank, after Frank Costanza.
Oh, that's what it was. I didn't get the reference.
That's George's dad from Seinfeld.
Okay. I'm not a Seinfeld fan, and I wondered why it was Frank, but I figured it had to be I just didn't know the connection.
So there was that, and then there was, I didn't actually do it on my card, although I had a lot of reason to do it in the first round,
right?
Was the airing of the grievances.
Right.
I've got some problems with you people, and I'm going to tell you all about it. Actually, I had some problems with some discs. So Anyways, how did your Gig Ogre Festivus for the rest of us go?
It was good. Kristen, as always, in the first round, likes to mix up the division so that we get people playing from different divisions. You're not always playing with the same type of people. So I got to play with MP40 player.
Mm-hmm.
We know him, Uncle Steve.
Yes.
Great person to play with. And I also got to play with Sarah Candeliera as well.
Oh, she's a great player who's been really playing a lot of events this year as well.
Yeah. Good friend to Terry Heiserbaum Hong.
Look at you just can't all musical.
You can't say it without doing that now.
No, not at all. No, that's fantastic. So you had a good round, and you had said you played MP40 the first go around.
Yeah.
You avoided it this time. Was it just you wanted to come slum with the MAs or what?
I figured the playing the other two courses for the Birdie Feast, I knew those courses, so they were easier. So I figured one course there was only one set of tee pads, so I'll go MP40 on the other course that had the longer tee pads. I've played those tee pads before. I know the course, so I should be able to put in a good, decent round, but I didn't. This Wetaskiwin course, I don't think I've ever played the blues.
They are far.
They were far, and there was only 4 holes that were blues, but I just figured, you know what? I'll come back with a cap in hand and tail between my legs to the MA division, and
where we warmly welcomed you back. We were happy to have you back.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you really quick before we get off the Gig Ogre.
That's not to say that I won't venture into MP50 maybe next year.
Interesting. No. Wait and see. I will tell you one thing. I had a first round, I shot a plus 12. Okay. And to me, shooting double digits I don't like that anymore. Right. Over. I don't mind shooting over because I'm not that great, but double digits at that course, I didn't want to shoot. 6 of those shots came on one hole. and what I tell you is there's only one thing worse than hitting first available. And you'd think that was hitting second available, but it was hitting first available, pitching out, and then losing a disc in the middle of an open field.
Right.
And then hitting.
Well, it was covered in snow.
And then hitting a back
well. It has been snow. Yeah. You had a few
things. But my second round was over 900. So amazing. Pat myself on the back. And congrats to my friend who rode down with me, getting their first career win ever.
Yeah.
Listener and friend of the show, Sonia, took down the win in FA4?
FA40.
Yeah, FA40.
FA40.
Yeah, sweet. So congrats, Sonia. Daryl, tournament review time. You want to take it?
I'll take a little bit of it, Jeremy.
Okay.
So we like to review a tournament that happened over across Canada this week. The Nickel City Open, presented by Twin Stacks. Thomas Hums is the tournament director out there. Dan Gamsby was the assistant TD. That's a new course that they've got out there, and I believe Thomas and Alicia, part of the Nickel City Disc Golf Association, kind of helped put that together as well.
Yeah.
There was $3,000 added cash to this event.
That is like $3,000 in disc golf. Adding that, you had to do work to get it. It doesn't just fall in your lap. That's for sure.
They've definitely been putting the effort in out there. There was 2 rounds of disc golf, 1 round each day.
Yes.
How do you like that format? Would you rather have 2 in one day and get it done?
Well, I think it depends on the course and how difficult it is, what else is going on. I know when I looked and was doing a little bit of research, they said that they were worried about frost in the mornings. So I don't know if they would have had enough time to play both. But yeah, I don't mind 1 round a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the Saturday, they had a dinner/social, some drinks, raffle, 50-50. All players and non-players were invited out to that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And you know they're close to Manitoba up in Sudbury, because they use the word social. I'd never heard the word social as like, I've heard, let's go to a party, let's go to a banquet, let's go to an event. But if you're going to a social, it's usually close to Manitoba that you must be.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. They had Prism and Pro Side Disc Golf on-site vending as well. So it's always good to get the local people out there vending. Over on the MPO side, Luc Levesque.
Oh, we know that name.
There's a name we haven't heard for a while, but we know that name. He took down the win with a -3. That was 6 shots better than Calvin Roeder over in second place.
Okay.
Yeah, and that took him that got him $480.
Nice for Luke there. We know that he likes to go big or go home.
Exactly.
That's what he does. He must have went
good
big.
Events or some bad. Yeah.
Yeah. And then FPO winner is a familiar name to us. Been on the show before. Colleen McInnes, a staple out in the FPO division out in Ontario. She shot a +7 overall and was 3 shots over second place, which was hometown hero Alicia Hums, and ended up taking home $347. Daryl, this was Sudbury's first B tier. So,
wow.
Yeah. So they haven't had an A tier or anything like that, but with twin stacks, this has been a great course. They put up a really detailed caddy book that's still available on Disc Golf Scene if you want to see it. It rivals anything you would see from the Disc Golf Pro Tour, but it shows some of the holes. I looked at one, and one hole was like short tees, 196, throw over OB. Okay. Straight over OB.
I can make that.
Yeah. And then same hole from the longer tees, 326 foot par 3, go around said OB.
Right.
So OB's on your left on a hyzer, and on your right is a dense forest. So it really caused you to have to land a shot and not skip.
Right.
So yeah, it was kind of cool. So I don't know if the whole course is like that, where they've got these really unique, you're almost playing two different courses depending on which tee pad you're on.
Right.
So it'd be kind of cool.
Pretty cool to see a different tee shot.
But glad to see, disc golf is always growing. We always want to highlight that. And up in Sudbury, it certainly is.
Yeah. Dina says a social. She's in. There you go.
Dina hails from Manitoba. She knows what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Now, what we also want to talk about is our giveaways are all done. We talked about it. We did spun the wheel last week for the Judge Havoc ones. We've reached out to the people there. We're getting those discs out. And then the next giveaway that we got going is our...
Are we adding those? Are we doing
No, those are, we got these two discs here, but this had to do with, we had a Trash Panda disc as well as a MVP. That was more to do with our chain out fantasy picks.
That's right. That's why you gave me those.
So those are sitting there.
No,
they're just sitting there to tease people.
We have the 500 giveaway. We will get some pictures up. We'll tease that next week. Maybe we'll get, cause we have no more stuff going on. We've done all the giveaways now. You said that was the last one
for now. Until we get this next one.
Get the 500 out. What do we got in the 500? Just give a quick rundown.
We got a bag.
We got some discs.
5 discs.
We got some stickers.
Yes.
We got a beer koozie.
We got mini.
We got a towel.
At least one, maybe 2 towels.
Yeah.
And then we got birdie beads.
We got lots of stuff.
So many things in that giveaway. So we'll post that up. Help us get there. We need about 34 more subscriptions on YouTube, and that'll get us to that giveaway.
I know we are going to move on, but Sam just brought up a good question here. Anyone sign up for the Trash Panda swap? I know we've done it for the last 2 or 3 years. I've signed up already. Have you signed up?
No, I haven't signed up yet for the Trash Panda one. I've signed up for that one before. And also I noticed that Ontario, or maybe it's Ontario, or is it Canadian Disc Golf? There's a Canadian one too. So if you're on Facebook, check it out. There's one you can do that way. And cool. Trash Panda one is great. Always had a good time with it. We'll focus on that maybe next episode.
Yeah,
that's a good one to talk about. We got 2 sponsors that we want to shout out really quick here before we get to our guest. We have BR Disc Golf, and you can get 10% off with them if you use the code CHAINOUT. And when we talked to Brendan this year, we're starting to get ready for Alberta putting leagues. And so if you are involved in an Alberta putting league, you normally would go out to league. You'd be battling against the other players in the league and seeing how you do. If you reach out to Brendan at BR, he does a kind of like a staple to your competition where he has an Alberta wide putting league. So you can enter your scores and go up against everybody else in Alberta and see if you can be the best putter.
There you go.
Yeah. And on the other side, we have Cardinal Disc Golf as a sponsor. They take care of all the cool clothes that we're wearing. In the case tonight, I got a hat on. You're wearing a jersey. You can get 10% off using the code CHAINSPACEOUT. And one of the things had their site closed for a bit. They were doing some revamping and changes, and they're expected to be open this week, is what Kevin told us. And the wait will be well worth it. That's a lot of W's. The wait will be well worth it.
Yeah. You like an alliteration.
So be sure to check it out when you can. But Daryl, how's the green room looking? Do we have a guest?
Oh, we have a guest, Jeremy. They've drunk all the water. They've...
You just put water in there this week?
They've eaten the M&Ms.
So they're going to be angry when they get here. You just gave them water.
No, I said they've drunk all the water. The beer and the wine are still there, but...
Oh, okay. So they can have that for the show if they like.
Yeah, they can have that whenever they want.
All right. Well, let's get to the guest. This week's guest has been a PDGA member since 2022. She calls the Six her home. A true multi-sport athlete, she was a member of Canada's beach volleyball team. She is currently rocking, Daryl, a 26% win percentage in her PDGA tournaments. And she just added 2 points to her rating, going up to 923 this week. Join us in welcoming Alexandra Poletto to the show.
Hey, Alexandra, how are you?
Hi, how's it going?
Going great. And yourself?
Yeah.
How are you
Can you
doing?
hear me? Hello? We're good?
Yeah,
Yeah, we're good.
we're good.
Definitely. All right,
Uh,
Alexandra, what I have to ask is I'm really a person for shortening names and stuff. Last week we had Jared Grunewagen on the show, and I messed up his last name a couple times. I'm going to start out right at the start. Can I call you Alex? Is that okay?
of course, yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
Sounds good. We're good, Daryl.
Yeah, we're good.
The house cleaning's over
There you
for
go.
that part.
Yeah.
So, Alex, when we were looking, PDJ says you're out in Toronto. Is that really, is that kind of where you're living right now? Is that your home area?
Yeah, yeah, right in North York, Toronto. So, unfortunately, not a ton of disc golf that close to me. You'd think Toronto would have more, but
Yeah.
we lost Centennial, so we only have Seton and the Toronto Island, which are both 45 minutes at least to get to, especially with the traffic here. So,
Wow.
not a disc golf haven.
No. Well, when we were out for nationals in the summer, we did take a day before we left to fly back to Alberta, and we went out to the island. And we know what you mean, like just parking downtown and then walking to the ferry. And we took the water taxi and then the ferry. It's a day for sure. And then we still had a little bit of time left. And I think it was Centennial we went to, but is it still,
Yeah.
it's under construction right now, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, honestly, that was a huge loss for Toronto disc golf. Like the league there was so fun. That was my first year playing. We started going to that league, and there were sometimes 70 people at league. It was
Wow.
you could make $100 for winning the league. It was so much fun. And sadly that was cut short. So still under construction. They're hoping, I think the plan is to eventually redesign some holes so that it will be back, but it won't be the same.
No.
It's too bad.
Well, I would say, Daryl,
Hmm.
when we went there, we had opened up UDisc
Yeah.
at Centennial, and it showed a construction layout, but I don't know if we played it quite right
It
because
was more like Safari Golf.
did it make
It's
sense
like,
that we were going behind fences that maybe we shouldn't have been going
yeah.
behind, or
Yeah, and like using the same tee pad with different baskets and backwards and forward. Yeah. But it's something at least, but yeah, it's not the same. It used to be a really stellar course.
gotcha.
Right. Well, now we're kind of moving into the off season. If you've lost Centennial and Toronto Island's a bit of a drive for you, is there anywhere close by? Like where do you get out and practice, or is that
Yeah, we have Seton Park, which is it's still 45 minutes. I could bike there in like 50 minutes, but the driving after, with traffic is still 40 minutes.
right?
So we go there sometimes, but really I just go to the park at the end of the street and throw a bit. It's the easiest way. Or we make our way out to a bigger course like Cedar Creek is one of our favorites. And
Right.
if we're feeling up for it, we'll go to Hope Goat a little bit further.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, those are two awesome courses to pick from.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We enjoyed them both. And
Hmm.
I do remember a friend of mine having some famous last words of going, Cedar Creek in practice. This is the easy course.
Yeah, exactly.
Until we played it again in the tournament and realized
Yeah.
we
That
must
was
have been just tired from the flight, I think.
yeah, we were we were not thinking straight for that course for sure.
Yeah. Well, Alexandra, at the beginning of our shows, we want to find out how our guests got into disc golf, but we're not going to just come out and ask you. We've got a strange way of doing it. We come up with an origin story that might be related to your history. It's based on a movie, and our listeners will try and guess that movie. You just get to sit back and relax. And then after that,
Okay.
we figure out how it goes. And this one, this is a test for our listeners because we've been doing this for 103 episodes. We've done everything from comic book characters at
Hmm.
the start. Remember that?
Yeah, I do
Yeah,
remember those.
to doing movies. So some of the movies I find are a little bit now out there. So we'll see if they can get to this one.
Go for it.
All right, here we go. So, Alex, maybe when you were younger, you knew you wanted to play a sport, but you just weren't sure which one. You tried volleyball and thought it might be the right fit. When you played, it felt like you had this dormant power, an ability to spin the ball when you spiked almost to the point that it defied physics itself. While playing volleyball at the beaches, you saw plastic flying through the trees and went over to investigate. You unknowingly stumbled onto a fraternity of disc assassins. This secret society had special abilities, and they were led by fate itself. They put a disc in your hand and helped you awaken your special power. The ability was not meant to spin volleyballs. It was meant to curve and shape discs in an almost impossible line that could weave through trees and deftly land into baskets. You became a legend in the fraternity and realized that this is what you always wanted. Now, maybe that isn't quite how you got into disc golf. So why don't you tell us how it really happened?
That's hilarious. Well, I want to know the answer, what everyone's going to guess.
Well, we can give it a quick second, because did you know what it was? Do you have any idea?
Ooh.
It is obscure.
No.
Yeah. Okay, no worries.
It's a film that I've seen, but I didn't get it from the story. So
if I give you a hint, did you ever remember seeing a movie where bullets curve? No? The ability to curve a bullet. Not Matrix either.
No,
so.
The chat.
I was going to say Matrix.
Yeah.
No, the chat doesn't know either.
All right, we'll throw it out there. So it was a movie called Wanted, and Angelina Jolie was in it, and she had this ability to like whip a gun and fire it and make a bullet curve, and it was all of those were little references in there. So you can put it on your.
That's fun.
Yeah,
that's
you can
fun.
put it on your like number 10 of your top 10 list of next to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the story was almost correct, but I don't know if I ever felt that disc golf was my calling. But now, honestly, I guess I think I've almost reached a higher level in disc golf than I have in volleyball, in the sense that I'm playing on the pro tour, well, not the full pro tour, but as a pro level player, I've made more money already in disc golf than I have in volleyball, if you ignore my scholarships. And I have a sponsor, which I didn't have a sponsor who was in volleyball. So, it's different, but I think almost like I've accomplished more in some ways. But yeah, I did start playing volleyball. I went to the beach every single day at Ashbridges Bay, which has a course there, and I don't know how, but I never saw the baskets. I never saw a tee pad or people playing, and I actually walk right by where league gathers at the same time that league happens, and I just completely oblivious, no idea that disc golf was a thing. It was my boyfriend. He was friends with another volleyball player who did play disc golf, and he dragged him out to the course in between practices, and then started playing. And we both stopped playing volleyball around the same time. He spent that free time playing disc golf every single day. I didn't bother coming to the course for a long time, but eventually I was dragged out to join him.
Right.
Nice.
And when you first got started, like, do you remember, did you get a starter pack like a lot of people did? Did you get given discs from somebody?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I still remember my partner was really into it. So his parents bought him the Discmania starter pack, and they got an Innova basket from like a game store. And it's actually a really good basket. They just brought it home and was like, surprise, we got you this gift. Wow. And we all went to the backyard and we're trying to throw the putter and the mid-range, and I could not get it to go even 50 feet. Just had no idea what we were doing. But yeah, we started there and then just kept it rolling.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I'm guessing because you are sponsored by Innova, none of those discs are in your bag, but do you still have them? Are they looking around your building there anywhere?
I think they have become dog toys at this point.
Right.
They're somewhere. They're definitely seen. They're in bushes occasionally. You see them, then chuck them across the yard and then keep going.
That's awesome.
There you go. So they didn't have much sentimental value, those first 3 discs, I guess.
Yeah.
No, they definitely did. They got you started, They were the first hook into the sport. So
Yeah.
they're good.
Fair,
They're good.
fair enough. So that they would have been the first hook into the sport. And then when we were looking, we saw when you got to your first PDGA tournament event, and that was the Snow Play Ice Bowl out in Halliburton, Ontario, back on March 19th, 2022. It was a C
Yeah.
tier, and you played in FA1. Do you remember that event and how it
Oh
went?
yeah. Oh yeah. I remember it. It was hilarious. I had no idea what I was getting into, and I was kind of thrown into it because my partner was playing. He said, "You have to come play tournaments." And I should say at this point, I did not really like disc golf. Like I played very rarely. I didn't understand why he was obsessed with it. And I was also grieving the loss of my former sport, which I thought was going to be my livelihood. So I was comparing the two and was like, this sucks compared to what I was doing. I suck at it. And I was really bad at being bad at something. So it took a lot, but he forced me to go to the tournament. And at that point, that was what hooked me in because the competitive juices started flowing
Right.
and the excitement and the nerves came back. And I loved that and missed it. And fortunately, I actually went to a playoff, which was really funny looking back on it. But I went to a playoff and I was so nervous. I was like shaking and I couldn't believe it. And I think I won the I won the tournament in the playoff. And I was like, this is awesome. I love disc golf. It's so fun to compete. So I was hooked from there and like there was no going back.
That's awesome.
Do you remember who you were in the playoffs with?
Yes, her name was Jen. I think she's playing FP40 now. I see her at some tournaments here and there. But yeah, that was the start of it all.
Yeah, that was Jen Hill. You're right. And now also with the playoff, because I've never been anywhere close to the top quite yet to even have the playoff going on. But do you remember how many holes it went to? Was it over pretty quick or was it like a long battle?
Yeah, I think so. At that course, they do a few holes, and then if you still haven't won by then, there is a little like short playoff basket. It's probably 150 feet,
Okay.
not far at all. And it took us like 3 or 4 turns for one of us to birdie it. We just kept having terrible shots, a layup, par. So, yeah, it's funny to look back on it now, but it was a good time.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, good. Well, you had said mourning your previous sport that you thought was going to be your livelihood, and that was volleyball. And there is no way we can actually do this interview without talking about volleyball because I do up a lot of our outlines, kind of put a little basic idea for our questions, and I'm always researching our guests and seeing what's out there on the internet and such. And right now, even though you are so much into disc golf, when you search Alex Poletto, you get volleyball, 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 disc golf, volleyball, disc golf, volleyball. So there's still quite a lot of volleyball out there. So we got to talk about that. From what I could see, it looks like you got to play at a couple pretty big universities in the U.S. with your volleyball out at University of Colorado in Southern California.
Yes, correct. Actually, Colorado State, I should say, because University of Colorado is our nemesis. So Colorado State, and then I switched to USC for my master's and to play beach volleyball.
Okay. And how did you enjoy that going down to the U.S. and actually playing in a sport at such a high level with the way the competition can be down there?
It was incredible. I mean, it's really a once in a lifetime experience. It feels like you're a professional athlete at that point. And especially the university I went to, Colorado State, the volleyball was the sport there. And it was a very small college town, like what you would expect from the movies, essentially. So we got an average of 3,000 people at our games and up to 7,000 for some games. So it really felt like a big deal. People knew you when you went out in the grocery store. So it was a really, really cool experience, but it was extremely demanding. And it was my life. Like it just everything you did, right, all day long. Morning workouts, class, and then practice, rehab, try to do homework, go to bed, do it again. And I was extremely injured through my time playing, so there was a lot of work to do and a lot of pain.
Okay.
um,
Wow.
yeah.
Well, and you mentioned Colorado and being there and getting that kind of being the star of the town, and were people coming up to you with volleyballs and asking you to sign them? Was it that kind of situation even? And
Oh
yeah,
yeah. Oh yeah.
that's
We had
awesome.
probably every game was like 30 kids, 40 kids coming up, posters, balls, whatever to sign. It was really, really cool. And then USC's was slightly different as it's one of the highest rated programs, and you had these amazing facilities, and there's like legends that would be there and show up. You'd see like professional athletes walking by. LeBron's at the basketball game, but
What?
then you're in LA, downtown LA, and we got not many fans because you're in downtown LA and there's lots of other things to do. So you just had small bleachers on the side of the road with your court, and that's that. But it's a very different experience.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and I was thinking that, Daryl, when I was looking, was you go and you look at Colorado and you've got the mountains. It feels like a lot like maybe Canmore or Jasper out here, where
Right.
you've got
Yeah.
this really right in the nature kind of area. And then you
Mm-hmm.
look at the University of Southern California when you go and you zoom in. And when Alex says it's in Los Angeles, it is legitimately in the heart of Los Angeles, surrounded by, it looks like, probably concrete jungle everywhere. So it had to be probably quite a different culture shock too, going from one of those schools to the other, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah. I mean, it being in Toronto, it's similar to LA in some ways. So that wasn't too hard. Actually, going to Colorado, I loved it. I loved being near the outdoors and in a small town, but it was actually slightly different culturally. Just different mindsets. It was like people had not much knowledge on Canadians, so you get some funny questions. But it was different living down there. I loved it. I would live there in a heartbeat. It was amazing. But yeah, very very opposite schools.
Yeah. So as you said, you play at these great universities where the programs for volleyball are so great. Then you end up getting called up to Team Canada. Now, was that
Hmm.
where did you get the call up to actually start playing on Team Canada? Was that down in USC?
Yeah, so I was playing on the youth events, I guess, growing up. I was on Team Ontario, and then I went to the U19 World Championships. Didn't play very well, didn't qualify, but I was there. And then I was in the summers when I came home from university, I was playing with the national team, and I played in a few continental tour events. So went down to the Caribbean and played some
Yeah.
international events for Canada. And then when I finished at USC, I decided I wanted to continue to play pro beach volleyball. And so I applied to be on the national team. The timing worked out. So the year that I was on the national team was cut with COVID. So it was kind of a whirlwind of, I
Mm.
got, I think, 3 events in my official pro career. I had 3 tournaments, one in China and then one Jamaica and Dominican Republic.
Wow.
And and then one more in Brazil. And then I was done. And that was it.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's just like
Yeah.
to be at that top of
Yeah.
a sport. And then now she's heading in that same direction
Yeah.
with this sport as well.
And then, one of the things that we have in disc golf is that we have the PDGA magazine that comes out. And,
Yes.
you're always looking when we had it coming out. It was good to see who was going to be on the cover and who was going to be in the magazine. For you, Alex, getting featured in the volleyball magazine, and I forget exactly what it's called, but you were actually in the volleyball magazine.
Yes, I was. I should have had that here. I can show you. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was really really cool. I mean, I was just starting out really my beach volleyball, I should say,
Right.
my beach volleyball career, and I was hopeful to really go far with it. I mean, my dream was to be in the last Olympics in Paris, and then uh, to go to Los Angeles as well. So that was the plan, but things change for the better, and
Yeah.
I'm just happy to still have a sport that I can be competitive in. It's really a dream come true.
Yeah. And you mentioned now you've moved on into disc golf, and that's where you find that, that you're still being competitive and it's still able to fulfill your needs, sort of thing. Do you still get a chance to
Yeah.
play volleyball, whether it just be recreationally or, just with a group of friends?
No, so I stopped because I had too many concussions, unfortunately. So
Oh, okay.
I got one bad one in the last summer when I was playing, and it just lingered and lingered and lingered. And I tried to come back and played one more event, and it was just terrible. I couldn't focus, couldn't track the ball very well. Like I couldn't catch my breath, and
Mm.
I knew I
Oh,
had to take time away to
right.
recover fully. So I did that and just really never went back, because when I recovered, I realized it's not worth getting another one.
Yeah.
No.
And really, I'm at the point where the effects do still show up just in daily life. So
Right.
I kind of realized I only have one brain and
Yeah.
gotta
Better.
stop.
You got to take care of it. Yeah,
Got
for
to
sure.
take care.
Volleyball's lost is
Yeah,
disc golf swing.
yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
it's right. That's right.
Alex, too, when we're talking to our guests and we kind of hear how they got into disc golf, sometime there's a lot of people, of course, who come from ultimate. And, you can see right away that there's got to be a connection sports wise where throwing an ultimate disc, throwing a frisbee, maybe not the same, but similar motions. Another thing we've seen is a lot of successful players come from baseball as well, because they get the same weight transfer in baseball, or maybe with the forehand arm motion is similar to baseball throw. Do you find that there's been a good transfer of skills from volleyball? Because I've also seen a number of volleyball players, and I don't know if it's just because they're tall and they've got big levers, or if there's something about the motion about it.
Yeah, I mean, people always ask me this, and they are similar in ways, I guess, in sense of the physicality, your strength carries over, your lower body explosiveness can carry over. You engaging your core and your hips, and actually having the separation between upper and lower body, that could be helpful,
Hmm.
because when you're doing an arm swing, it's going to be your hips first, then you follow through with your arm. So same thing with disc golf, you want to your hips first and then follow through. But the actions are actually very different, and with volleyball, it's a lot of power and fast pace movements, whereas disc golf is very precise and a lot of smooth shots versus just aggression and power. So I can see how the physicality can help, but it is very different. The one side that would probably be the most comparable is the mental side, because in
Okay.
beach volleyball specifically, it's just you and your partner out there. So
Right.
it's not solo, which is even harder, but it's just two of you. You don't have a coach on the court with you. And when things go bad, you have to figure it out by yourself or together.
Hmm.
And there is a big mental side and momentum shifts, and it does play a huge part. So that carried over a little bit, but really, I always say if I was still playing volleyball now, I think I would be way better, because disc golf has helped my mental game
Right.
immensely.
Gotcha.
It's really, I've never had anything like it in terms of the mental pressure it puts you under.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm glad to hear Alex saying that too, because we were talking earlier about our event, and I said about taking my 12 on a hole on the weekend in a tournament, and trying to, or a ticket. No, took a 10. It was 12 over for the round, but took
Yeah.
a 10 on a hole.
Yeah.
And you're right, it is like that was 9 holes in, I still had 9 holes to go. And if you don't have a mentally strong game, you could have a lot more 10s come at you. So it's good to hear that it's not just at our level that there's that mental strength required.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Oh yeah. No, I've honestly, it taught me so much about the mental side. I've always been interested in that when I was playing volleyball and trying to improve. And then now with disc golf, I realize so much more. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad at this and this and this. So yeah, it's been really helpful.
Do you, we obviously see Chantel a lot of times. She'll go out and play with Chris on her bag, and she's mentioned before when we've interviewed her that she has, sometimes we interviewed Chris as well, and other people that we've spoken to that
Tim and
have
Kristen.
caddied for people as well. Do you like to play with a caddy? Like, do you have an opportunity to play with a caddy, or is that something that would help you mentally when you have somebody else to vent to, or maybe someone who knows your game and kind of walk you through your shots? Or is it more, like you said, like a solo sport for you, and you like that challenge of trying to figure out how to bounce back?
I don't really know, honestly, because I haven't had too many caddy experiences. Usually my partner and I are signing up for every tournament together, so
Right.
he's playing at the same time. And sometimes I'll ask him to come caddy for me if he's at a different time where he can.
Yeah.
And the few times he has, it's just gone terribly. So we now feel like it's just not a good idea. It's just, I think it depends on the caddy, and you'd have to form a relationship because with him, he knows my bag and my shot choices, and I know his reactions too well. So if I pick up a disc that might not be his choice, I can tell immediately that he's thinking, "Oh, that's a bad decision," or maybe you should do something else. And then I'm second guessing, and it doesn't go well.
Yeah.
Definitely have to have somebody that can take a back seat and offer up some advice, but know when to give that advice and when not to give that advice as well. So yeah.
I think it's
The
a true.
issue,
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, the issue is that he said he was going to just watch and not say a word, but then when I mess up, why didn't you say anything? You saw that.
Yeah.
You knew I should have done something different. So maybe just someone not as close as your partner can caddy.
Yeah, that's fair. That's probably a good option if you want it to continue.
Yeah. Well, we've heard of that. Like Daryl and I, sometimes we say we're an old married couple at times, and especially when we spent the 6 days at nationals, we had some fun experiences driving together and such. But at the same time, Daryl knows my bag because we play together all the time. So he knows my bag better than I do. So we actually do have a good caddy and disc golf relationship that way.
Yeah.
But I did hear from one of the pros here in Canada that I was asking them about it, and what they had said about having a caddy is they said you have to have that relationship too, because they've had some experiences where someone offers to be on their bag and then they become an actual distraction to the card, and even worse, distraction to the player that they're supposed to be caddying for. So there is something to be said about having the right person and not just random stranger number one or something like that.
But you do see that down on the
I
pro
will
tour.
say I do.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say I will say that when someone comes off their own round and then caddies, I find it very challenging because they want to share everything that they did during their round.
Yeah.
So that is when it can be distracting. But for the most part, I mean, at least in our cards, they're usually very upbeat and relaxed. So they're not usually a distraction.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, we did talk about meeting you in person out at Nationals, and you and I had a great talk. I really enjoyed that. That's one of the highlights for me of the weekend, was just getting a chance to spend some time with you. And last week we had Jared Grunewagen of Canuck Hucks on, and we were talking about it there and just how much we loved all the videos that were there, and especially your walkthrough of Newcastle that you did. The only one thing we were joking about, and you can tell us maybe some behind the scenes on this, is we said that all of those videos made the courses look easy because it was like a birdie on every single hole and just a little 400-foot flip up hyzer here or there from Jake, and you could get through the course. Did it go that easy when you guys were recording, or how long did it actually take to record those videos?
Oh boy. I mean, I did it all in one take.
Yeah.
It honestly, it went pretty smoothly. And then if it was good enough, we would go with it. And then you just get a few tries to putt usually. And if it doesn't go well, then you just move the disc a little bit forward and try again. But really, honestly, that gave me such a false sense of confidence going into Newcastle. I'm like, I can do this. Look, I actually birdied every hole. I could do it.
Yeah. Well, when you say that, Alex, the false sense of confidence, what I would say is Tanya's in the chat here, so it's great to have her there, one of the owners, designers of the course. And what is kind of interesting, you got Tanya and Chris, these great upbeat people, so much fun and everything. We've got holes like Plinko, and there's gnomes everywhere, and there's all
down golf cart.
Yeah, broken down cats meow, all of these great things. So you're going in there with a lot of, and I'm going to start off a tee pad and throw right into an open fairway.
Yeah.
I went into that round with all of this hope and wonder and just thought it was going to be great. Immediately threw my first shot into OB and it just went downhill from there. So it was probably one of the toughest courses. That's the most fun, that I loved and managed to not love at the same time while I played it. And I need to go back to it, which is probably the sign of a good course, because I need redemption.
Yeah.
I can completely agree with that statement. It's so fun. I love it. It's like a course we played when I was learning to play disc golf. But then it's so frustrating when you just miss it by this much. So you'll have to come back for it for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and that's last thing I'll say before I give it to Daryl here for a bit. But I was going to say, I did watch some of Jared's coverage of the second round of the FPO that was out at Newcastle, and you were lucky enough to be on lead card. Well, I was going to say you were lucky enough to be on lead card, and what it was when you get to Plinko as that example, like you showed the whole, not only you, like everybody on the cart had a rough go on the hole, it felt like, but what you showed was the whole way that a roller coaster of a hole can go, and why you've got to stick with it and be there mentally. Because if I remember right, it's like you hit an early tree and then you hit a tree again, but then you got up really, probably 65 feet from the basket, and you're like, oh man, this is like a rough hole. And then you're 65 feet from the basket and you drained this putt that nobody ever could have saw coming. So all in one hole, you probably, I'm guessing you experienced every emotion you could in disc golf.
Oh yeah. That round was a roller coaster. It was like, okay, come on, you can do it. Oh, you can't. Okay, hey, you can do it. So it was exhausting to say the least.
Yeah, as much as you said Cedar Creek kind of pulled the rug from under our feet, thinking that it was going to be an easy course, but it actually turned out hard. Newcastle was definitely way more challenging than it made it look like on video.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. So while we were out at Nationals, obviously there was so much going on out there. We had the tournament itself that was happening. We all took part in that. They also had putting competitions. We had glow golf happening out there. In the evening at Hope Goat, we got to play crokinole as well. How much of the weekend and the experience and everything to do in Nationals did you get to take part at? Excuse me. How much of the event did you get to take part in?
Easy for you
I
to
understand.
Say.
Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say.
It was a great event. I mean, I thought it was a lot of fun, and you really felt the sense of community and being part of something bigger than just your average tournament. It was nice to see all the players from across Canada coming in and actually have a big FPO field. That was really cool. I did the putting competition. And the glowy was awesome. I've never experienced anything like that. That was so cool.
Yeah.
And just hanging around. I mean, Hoko is such a great location, and with the the cafe is the word I'm looking for.
Screaming goat, yeah.
And the animals, I got to pet all the animals because I was sad for my Newcastle round, so they let me pet animals. Yeah, it was a great time, honestly. I wish we could do that every year.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wanted to speak to you about the putting competition there, because by the time that Jeremy and I got to put our score in, we were looking at the leaderboard and there was one name at the top and we wanted to make sure, did you win the event? Because I know on the Saturday night we were playing crokinole and somebody came into our area and was like, if you want to be in the putting competition final, come outside now. And I guess they put on a bit of a different challenge for the putting tournament final. But did you manage to take down the win there?
I did. Yeah, I mean, they do such a great job. They had a great, fun little course with all these obstacles,
Hmm.
and Heather Gilmore and Jack from East End Putting League put it on, and they do an awesome job. They always make a fun course. I think there was so much going on that people didn't know what was happening at all times. So
Hmm.
um, there weren't that many people spectating or like participating as much as they would have liked, but it was
Right.
still a lot of fun and yeah, fun to take home the win from that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. And then you mentioned the glow golf. We mentioned it before. Once you play that glow golf with disc in the dark, how well they set out the fairways, how well they lit the baskets and everything like that, you just can't play another glow round anymore because it just doesn't feel like it's
I
going to live up
know,
to that
yeah.
experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a chance to chat with Adam there as well from Disc in the Dark, and just the coolest guy, and to drive all the way up. I think he said it was at least 8 hours for him to get
Probably.
from
Yeah.
Alabama or wherever he was coming up from. And yeah, no, you're right. We've never seen anything like it. And the other
Yeah.
thing that was kind of neat was we hadn't really walked Haute Goat at all, and then we went and played
Yeah.
that the glow, and we played it nice, and we were good and everything else. Then we walked around the next day in the daylight, and we were like, oh my gosh, like we could have ran into that fence, we could have fallen into that ditch, we could have went into all of these places, and trees that we didn't know were there.
Yeah.
But just the way that he lined up the course,
Just
that
kept
didn't
everybody
happen. It
good.
kept
Yeah.
everybody safe. So not only did it light it up, it also kept you safe in the dark as well. So
Yeah.
hmm Yeah, it was really awesome.
Yeah.
yeah.
So we mentioned obviously meeting you at nationals and you playing out there and all the great courses. But if we look back at your FPO career, you started playing in 2023. Yeah.
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 The FPO kind
Yep.
of got into 2023. We
Yeah.
were jumping up. Yeah, you're
I'll
right.
let you take it.
No, you're doing
No,
great.
you go ahead.
All right, yeah. So, but last year, what it looked like was that you exclusively kind of moved to FPO, where you kind of dabbled in it a little before, and you played 7 events and you won one of those events. So that was kind of how that went. And then this year, you went and you played 13 events. And I got to ramble this one off, Daryl,
Go
because of
for
the
it.
way I wrote it. I
Yeah. That's why I let you take it.
couldn't write it any other way.
Yeah.
You've got 3 firsts this year, 4 seconds, 2 thirds, 3 fourths, and then 1 ninth. Still top 10, but right. In there. So to me, it feels like this is quite the season. Like this is almost your breakout season. It feels like your game has stepped up. Do you feel that same way? And what is it that's changed about your game or improved this year that's made you take this leap?
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say I feel like my game's improved, but
Hmm.
and this is why you can't trust ratings because my rating's only gone up like 2 points or something or 3 points since I started the year. So they're fake. They don't mean
Yeah.
anything. um, yeah, I definitely think I've improved. My putting really got a lot better. I feel more consistent. I'm not missing those short ones that make you want to pull your hair out. I feel like I'm not missing those ones as much. And I developed a forehand off the tee, which was very helpful. And I'm feeling better at my scramble shots. Um, yeah, it's definitely improved, and I'm happy about that. But there's still a lot more I want to improve. It it's frustrating. I think my ceiling has gotten a lot higher, but my base is still lower than I'd like it to be, which is probably why my rating hasn't gone up. So hopefully can get that base up, and then my average will be more reflective of how I feel what I'm capable of. But overall, it's been a positive season, and I think I'm very proud of what I was able to accomplish.
Definitely. Well, and Alex, also too, is being out in Ontario, you have such a wealth that we've learned as we've done this podcast of experienced players, whether it's Thomas Gilbert and Colleen McInnes out there who've been playing for a long time. You've got Marty and Sandy Hendel. You've got Chris Oselins, like all of these players who have really been around disc golf for a long time, and being newer to the sport. Have you connected with them? Have you connected with anybody who's been able to help your game, or has it been mostly just yourself developing it with you and your partner practicing and such?
I am a bit of both. I think when I kind of started with the FPO scene, I still didn't fully understand disc golf. I still don't. I'm still learning all the time how things work in this sport. And my partner's really good at analyzing, and he watches all the coverage and videos, so he knows the game a lot better than I do. So he helps. But working with or seeing the other FPOs play is very helpful because they have just so much more experience. They know what to be throwing in certain situations or when to be aggressive, when not to be. That was a big lesson for me that I'm still learning. And they are just very consistent when they don't make as many silly errors. So it is extremely helpful to play. And I'm honestly, that's what I try to tell anyone who's on the fence about moving up a division is do it, because you're going to see so many new things. You're going to learn so much. And it's really, if you're okay with maybe being in the bottom of the pack for a little bit, it's going to be worth it. You're going to take away so much from the experience. And actually, I will shout out Marty, because there's one thing he said to me just after a tournament that really stuck with me. It was after Christy Lakes last year. We both won the tournament, and after the first round, I was ahead by so much that the second round I had the ability to mess up quite a bit and still win. But I messed up so much because I was so nervous about losing the opportunity to win. I wanted to win so bad that I was so scared. And I asked him, like, how do you control those emotions when you're ahead, and like stay ahead, not ease off the gas?
Yeah.
And he just matter of fact said, well, I know I deserve to be there. And as simple as that is, it's so huge, because if you truly believe that you deserve to be playing well, then you will continue to do so. But when you start questioning yourself and wondering, oh, when is it going to stop? Like, I can't do this forever. That's when the doubt creeps in and mistakes happen. So that really helped me, and it's kind of stuck with me over the year.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
that's some great advice from Marty. We enjoy talking to Marty, and he's a great pro. He's got a wealth of experience as well, playing down on the Pro Tour. One of the lucky things that we have up here with the FPOs is we've seen Rebecca, Chantel, and we've even seen Colleen go down and play on the Pro Tour as well. Is that something that maybe you have your sights set on as well? Is that obviously in your future to maybe go down there and play in a few Pro Tour events?
I mean, I want to, just because that would be such an amazing experience, and it'd be so cool to say that I played on the Pro Tour in a different sport that I never thought I would even be playing in my life. But I mean, it's such a big commitment, and I mean, disc golf, as much as I love it, it's not my job, unfortunately. So we will see. I definitely want to go play some larger events in the States, and maybe there's some big A tiers that I could drive to, and then maybe dip my toes into one or two Pro Tour events and see how it goes.
Nice.
Yeah, that'd be awesome to follow your career down there. We always like to cover and shout out the FPOs and MPOs, any Canadians playing down on the Pro Tour. So we'd definitely be following you. Yeah.
Yeah. And I do think too, Alex, with the trajectory that you're on, and if things keep going the way they're going, from our conversation earlier, you talked about going to Brazil and going to China and traveling to play volleyball. It sounds like a whiff diff Team Canada disc golfer as well. So yeah, at least that part wouldn't be shocking to you if you get to that level, right?
Oh yeah, that would be very cool. That would be. And honestly though, for next year, my goal was to see more of Canada. We played so much of the Ontario courses, but I haven't
Right.
seen many courses in Canada. So I think that would be really cool, is just to go travel around to different provinces and play some larger events.
Yeah. Well, we know we have a couple of A tiers out here in Alberta and out in the West.
Nationals in
Nationals is going to
four
be
and a
out
half
here.
hours
Yeah.
away from us, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
if
right.
if the two of you do get out this way, let us know. We can always either slow you down a little bit or find some players who can keep up with you and show you around the Edmonton area.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned about possibly, there being some bigger tournaments that you wouldn't mind playing down on the Pro Tour. Is there any that you have your mind kind of like set on that would be good ones for you?
Well, anything I can drive to, I think is a plus. So I'm not picky. But we went to Syracuse Open last year and really enjoyed that. So I hope that I can do that again next year. They put on a great tournament, and the courses are really really cool.
Yeah.
And then I've heard good things about the big Michigan tournaments, right? On the toboggan course,
Right.
and the CCR Open was on my radar this year, but I didn't make it down. So maybe
Yeah.
that next year. And really, I would love to go to Throw Pink. That
Yeah.
was kind of my goal this year. I really wanted to qualify, but maybe next year will be the year.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Always good. As Jeremy would say, it's always good to have a goal.
And you know what? If we just
That's
take a
right.
word out from Marty there, Alex, you deserve it, and just start thinking about it that way.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, Daryl, I think this next section that I highlighted in our outline is
You want me
got
to
your
take this
name
one? It's
written
got
all
written
over it.
People in the chat are going to start rolling their eyes, but you're obviously wearing the Innova jersey there. We wanted to speak to you about getting sponsored by Innova. Now, I have applied to be on the ambassador team a few times now. I know it's going to take me a few more times to apply. I'm building up the resume to try and get on the ambassador side. You're obviously a pro sponsored. How does that come about? Do they reach out to you? Do you apply? Like, how does that work from a pro side?
For me, it was somewhat of a connection through Daryl Banks. He gave me the contact. I reached out, provided my information and profile of what I've done and what my goals are.
Yeah.
And we had some conversations, and one thing led to another, and I got an offer. But I mean, they'd be lucky to have you, so I'm sure you'll get on.
Well, yeah, it's in the future, I'm sure, because I deserve to be there, Jeremy.
Yes, there
Right?
you go.
There you go.
That's right.
Yeah. So, did you throw a lot of Innova before applying for that team? I'm always curious about when people get sponsored by certain manufacturers. Are you obviously you're not, because you got your connection through Daryl Bankus, but do people just put out random sponsorships through different plastic manufacturers and then hopefully they get one?
I think some people do. I've heard of some people do that. They just really want to be sponsored, so they
Right.
will reach out to a bunch. I actually said I didn't want to be sponsored unless it was Innova
There you
because
go.
I threw so much Innova already, and I really didn't want to switch my bag to one of the other manufacturers. I thought like the only one I would do was Innova.
Nice.
And you mean over the years you gather so many discs that you're so comfortable with, it's hard
Yeah.
to leave them. And there's still a few that I miss, but Innova was definitely number one for me.
Right.
So I'm very grateful that I got the opportunity.
Right. And we follow, the Innova Wombat, Innova Disc, Innova Canada, all on our social media. We see that they must be a great team to work with. How have you found working with them?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, it's fun to have so many people on the team across the US and Canada. It's a very large team. So there's a big Facebook group, and people are always posting on their opportunities or, hey, I'm traveling to this place. Does anyone
Right.
have a place I can stay at? Or I'm here. Does anyone want to get around in? They always have gatherings at tournaments. So it's a good family type environment to be part of. I think definitely if you were down on the pro tour, then you would really get to connect with the other Innova players.
Yeah.
But even here, it's nice that Rebecca and I are both on the team, and we're kind of comparing discs all the time. Or
Yeah.
when she's throwing a disc on a hole, and I'm always throwing the same one. We know it's a good sign.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Probably
it's a
doesn't
good time.
probably doesn't hurt having Marty on the team as well. Maybe when he gave you
That's
that
right.
piece of advice, you weren't on Team Innova at that point. I'm thinking that was
Yes, I
2 years
wasn't.
ago. Yeah. Yeah.
Can I just ask too,
Sure.
while we're talking, like you said, you and Rebecca, did you get a chance to connect much with Sophia as well when she was out for nationals? Because you could compare bags with one more Canadian FPO Innova player.
No, I wish I did. We actually never played together all 3 days, so I didn't
Okay.
really get the chance to meet her much. But I would love to talk to her more because I know she was a former athlete as well,
Hmm.
and is doing so well. So I want to see what she's throwing so I
Yeah.
can compare.
Yeah, I think there's an eagle at least in her bag, isn't there?
An Eagle L.
Yeah, an
Yeah.
eagle L.
Yeah. I think when we spoke to Sophia, she had mentioned that she went down to,
California?
yeah, I'm just trying to think of the course, Martha McLean. Have you had a chance to go? Obviously, you were. I mean, maybe all the stars didn't line up, but you were down in LA. Have you ever been a chance to? Have you ever had a chance to go down there and play that Martha McLean course that we see so much?
No, I've actually never heard of it.
Oh,
This is my
okay.
lack of course knowledge. I've only played Ontario. No, I would love to play more. My dream is one day I can just road trip across the US and just play as many courses as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's all of our dreams, right?
Yeah,
Good.
pretty
We have
much.
so many courses on our bucket list. We always keep getting more courses
Yeah.
added on.
Yeah, we'll talk to somebody
Yeah.
from Cranbrook and we'll hear about a course there. And then they say, while you're there, drive across the border to Montana and play this course. And then the Dieppe Open comes through and we need to go to New Brunswick and we got to go to Yukon. There's like this never
So
ending
many.
list
Yeah.
of courses to play. And speaking of
Oh yeah.
traveling all over the place and everything else,
Mhm.
I do like to give Daryl kind of updates on my life and what's going on there. And
Sure.
so my parents live with me, Daryl, for part of the summer, and then what they do is they live in Mexico. My dad's getting ready to go on a cruise. I think he's doing a Panama one,
Oh,
but one
nice.
of the ones he was also looking at was one of these repositioning cruises. And so what it is like you'll have a ship that's out in Europe and it'll be in England, right?
Mhm.
Or in Great Britain. And then it'll go to Greenland. And then it'll go to Iceland. And then it'll go to like Labrador, Newfoundland. And then it'll finally dock somewhere.
Right.
And you know, that one, what's really interesting about that
Yeah.
is it hits a ton of islands.
Really?
You know, speaking of islands,
That was a long way to get there, Jeremy.
Picture this. You've taken a relaxing cruise, however the ship goes down. You manage to swim to an island, and fortunately for you, there's an 18-hole disc golf course. Which 3 discs are you taking with you on the island?
I think that is probably one of the longest journeys we took to get to that question.
but it was worth it, wasn't it?
It was worth it. Yeah. Okay.
I was just cruising along on that one.
It's that part of the show where we bring up the desert island discs. As the question says, you're on this cruise, the ship goes down. But luckily for you, you have 3 discs in your bag and you swim to the island. There's a golf course there. Which 3 discs do you have with you?
That's hilarious. I didn't know where that was going at all. So I would have to say number one, the Mako 3. It's become my favorite mid-range this year. I actually never threw it before, so it was a new disc in my bag. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
So I want to interrupt you. I've always got to ask, in
Yeah.
Mako 3, what type of plastic?
Champion. I
Champion
do have
Mako
a
3.
Star Kona Montgomery one that's very flippy, so that's my utility Mako, but the regular Champion Mako 3 is just it's awesome. You can put it on turn, you can put it on slight hyzer, you can put it dead straight. It's perfect.
Perfect.
And then number 2 would
Yeah.
probably be the T-Bird, I think, or is it T-Bird 3? I don't even remember what I have. I think it's a T-Bird. It's just a regular T-Bird.
Okay.
The Star T-Bird, I have had it since I started playing. It was one of the first discs I ever got.
Nice.
And it's just so useful. I think when you know what, it's kind of similar situation. When we go traveling, you only have, if when a non-disc golf related travel, we only
Mm-hmm.
have a little bit of space for
Yeah.
discs. I always bring just 2 or 3 discs, and it's the Mako, the T-Bird, and the putter. I usually switch it up,
Oh,
but probably right now I'm gonna say AVR
oh,
X3.
really?
It would have been Invader before because
Yeah.
I love the Invader so much, but I've started to love the flex line of the AVR X3, and relying on that hyzer angle versus having to throw something dead straight.
Right.
Just starting to feel a little easier.
Wow.
And I can do some touchy forehands with it and things like that. So it might that might be number 3.
Wow. Okay. You surprised me. If you asked me before, Jeremy, what's
Mhm.
Alex's 3 discs going to be, I would have said the Mako 3.
Yes.
I would have probably said the Shrike because I thought she would have picked the Shrike. And then I would have definitely said, oh, it's going to be a Nexus Invader because that's her go-to disc. But no. So,
Yes,
yeah.
it
So,
is such a good disc. It's such a good disc. It's I mean the Shrike, I was gonna say Shrike, but it's less versatile. If you only have 3 discs, you don't want to be
Mm.
throwing a 13 speed all the time. So
yeah.
Good call.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. So, Champion Mako 3, Star T-Bird, and did you say Star AVRX3?
Yeah. Star AVR X3.
Yeah, nice. Okay. I bag all 3 of those, by the way, Jeremy.
Yes, I
Yeah.
thought you might.
Nice.
I only bag Innova as well. That's a different winded story. We can go down that another day.
That's the after extra
Yes,
podcast that
exactly.
happens. Yeah.
The follow-up question that we have, and maybe this will be a bit tougher for you, seeing as you said that you just play those Ontario courses. If you could transport one course to be on this island, so that is the only course that you could play with those 3 discs, which course would you want there?
And we will say to you while you're thinking
Hmm.
is it can be a course you've played
Mm-hmm.
or a course you just want to play.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Um, Hard to know, of course, as I haven't played. I'm sure there's some excellent ones. But I'll go with what I know, and I'm gonna put P15. I don't think I could
Nice.
get bored of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Well,
that's a good shout.
that's a great choice, Alex. And I can tell you, I don't know that Daryl really got. I think he thought I was in La La Land or in space at one point. Because after we got through hole 1 and 2, and then we're starting to head towards the infamous tree hole with the branch, and then you've got the big rocks on the ground that lead you from one hole to the other. I just started walking slowly behind, and I was just looking around, absorbing nature, taking it all in. So between the love that Gabe's put into building that course and just the naturalness of the area, I don't think I've felt that way. Like I felt really positive and stuff about a lot of courses, but I don't think I've ever felt as connected to nature as I did when I was at that course. So I could totally see bringing that course to the island.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a very peaceful course and it's very quiet and you're really in the woods with yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. And you know, the best thing about that is if you brought it to a desert island, you wouldn't have to be quiet. You could be as loud as you
Much
wanted.
noise as you wanted.
That's right. No more signs.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Even Gabe's going to laugh at that one, I think.
I'm sure.
No, that's awesome. Well, Alex, we want to give you a minute here before we do let you go. We appreciate you for all your time. Do you want to take a quick moment to shout out your sponsor? You know, maybe other sponsors you want to come out for you or anything else that you got going on?
Uh, Honestly, I'm very thankful to Innova. I think they're a great company, and from what I know, they are a staple in the disc golf world. So it's an honor to represent them. And you can follow me on Instagram if you want to follow along and see if I do make it on the pro tour next year.
Yeah.
And yeah, thanks for having me. This was really fun.
Oh, it's awesome. Well, we
Absolutely.
appreciate it, and we're excited to watch your 2025. And if you have anything else you want us to shout out as things come up, just let us know. We're totally happy to support you. And fingers crossed, we'll get to see you come out for Nationals in Grand Prairie, because there's a lot of great disc golf in Alberta that you can check out.
Yes, I would love to. I have my eye on Falcon's Flight as well. So
Oh,
Yes.
we'll have to
yes.
see.
Yeah, must. Same way you
Good
feel
taste.
about being out at Project 15 for nature. I think you could equivalent that to just
Prairies.
pure disc golf, and the vibe of being around like-minded people is what Falcons can offer, and all of the stuff that Rudy's left imprinted on the course too.
Yeah, I would agree.
So
Definitely an experience.
Sweet.
yeah,
Well, awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you for your time. And hopefully, like Jeremy said, hopefully we get to see you again soon.
Great. Thank you guys.
Awesome.
See ya.
Thanks.
Bye.
that was awesome, Daryl.
Yeah.
Chatting with Alex again. I'm telling you, that was definitely a highlight of my nationals, was getting a chance to spend 20 minutes with her. And she shared a lot of the things tonight that we had talked about as well, with, how vulnerable she was about her volleyball career, and that, like, that must
Yeah.
have been really tough. Like, you have a sport where you are at the peak.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to be a professional,
Big
and
in
then
your life.
yeah. And then to lose that was very devastating. But then to see where she's going already with disc golf, and to know that she's just getting started,
Yeah.
is hopefully she can, someone's going to get 2 opportunities for
Right.
being a worldwide
Yeah,
professional
exactly.
sports player.
I wonder if she feels the same way that we do, because obviously we got into disc golf later.
Mhm.
But now we see people like Nico, we see like Alistair,
Yeah.
Sierra, all these young, great players coming through that are getting to experience it from such a young age. And you think when they get to be 20, 25, 30, how good they're going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And Alex, obviously, having such a good career in volleyball to start with, coming into disc golf, I want to say, in air quotes, later in life.
In the 20s.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. But still, like, how great and how, much further along she could have been if she just got in there early. But obviously, volleyball was a great thing to be involved in. And, if that's your first passion, that's obviously a great thing to be involved in.
Yeah. And we did mention it a little bit, that with Jared's Canuck Hucks video that him and Jocelyn put together for Newcastle round 2, Alex is in there. She kind of covered her face. She's not very, maybe it's not the best of her rounds that she'd want, but it's still a good chance to go and check her out and get to see how she plays, as well as Paige's on that card, Rebecca Dawn, and Chantel Badinsky. So you can see 4 great Canadian players in that coverage, which was awesome. So go check that out.
Yeah.
And then while you're on YouTube, what else should you do? Maybe you should
Subscribe.
subscribe to Chano Podcast.
Why not?
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Subscribe.
Yeah.
Definitely, if you're watching this after the live episode, leave a comment. Remember when we used to do secret words?
We did that before.
I think we should start. I think we should bring that back. Who wants to see more of the secret word?
I think we could do that for
Yeah.
sure. But
That's for OG people.
that's right.
Yeah, some people in the chat might not even know what the secret word is.
Well, I'm telling you, it might be horse feeder.
Yeah, but you didn't hear it from me.
So definitely check us out there. Instagram, Facebook, like, comment, subscribe. Give us ideas for guests that you want to see on the show, or anything else. We want to see what you have to say about the podcast, because we hope you love it as much as we do. And if you want to support us in another way, you can join our Patreon. We do have a free level. We also have some paid levels. That support helps us keep this podcast going, covers the costs of all the fancy stuff you get to see, like the button pusher and whatever else. Hey, Daryl?
Yeah.
After this, we are going to be doing our Around the Basket episode. So give us about 15 minutes. We're going to maybe talk a little bit more about the Canadian A tiers and see which ones you're looking forward to, which ones we are. We love interaction on that show. We really try to get the chat involved. And Daryl created a quiz a couple weeks ago that has become the new favorite. It really has. Like, everybody who was in the chat a couple weeks ago loved it, wanted it to come back, and you're bringing it back. What's it called?
Can you remember the name of it?
I remember.
Yeah.
You want to?
It's called Silhouette.
Scylla who? So if you don't know what that is, come check it out. You might have seen something similar to it before, but not like this.
I would even go down as far as to say that it was probably the best quiz that we've had on Around the Basket.
Ooh, better than Family Feud?
Oh, I don't know.
Better than Jeopardy?
I don't know. Those were good. Those were good. Those were good quizzes.
I think you're right. I think this one is right up there. So
I'm just trying to sell it to get people to join in.
yeah. Well, we like to end our podcast these days with some deep thoughts by Daryl and Jeremy.
Yeah.
And if you were ever a
Everyone take a
Saturday Night Live fan, you'll remember Deep Thoughts with Jack Candy.
Mm-hmm.
Ours is maybe not as funny.
Yeah.
But
Well,
still got some thoughts.
depends.
Do you want to start?
I will start.
Okay.
From mountain highs to the ocean breeze,
From sandy beaches to towering trees,
Alex could easily spike the ball,
was that really her true call?
throwing a disc through the sky.
A new dream that will never die.
Smash that basket, and without a doubt,
The metal will ring as we chain out.
Thanks, everybody.